In the end, everything will be carved in stone.
I'm in control. I'm in control. I'm in control. I'm in control. I'm in control.
What a mixtape bag.
I'm in control. I'm in control. I'm in control.
What's taking so long?
I'm in control. I'm in control. I'm in control.
Hey everyone, welcome to Carvd Stone Incorporated. We are live. Well, not live since we're recording it, but we're in Atlanta with the owner of the Sound Machine, D Major.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is D Major, owner of the Sound Machine.
All right, great. So tell us the reason why we're here. So tell us about the scholarships that you're doing and why you started doing them.
Okay, cool. So I've always liked growing up. I'm from the Bahamas, so I lived there for 10 years. You asked me before whether I was a musician or not. I wanted to play piano, but I never had those like opportunities to. So like I kind of, everything I know about music, I know from one in college or figuring it out myself. So I just wanted to provide opportunities to artists that may not have the resources. And so now that I'm in a position to give back, we came up with major music scholarships to award artists, young artists that want an opportunity to learn the tools or come into the studio and record, or even to go to college to get an education to get into a comfortable position. Because kind of what I did is I went to the University of Florida. I did the background of, studying theater and everything, but when I got out, I went to work for Apple. So I got that financial stability, and then I kind of turned it into doing what I'm doing today, which is music full time. So a lot of times your parents will be like, oh, find something that pays. So I always suggest getting financially comfortable first if you don't have that financial support from your parents, and then going back to doing what you love.
So I know you'll be giving away $500 value of studio time to two people, correct?
Yeah, so the way the scholarship is, it's 4 scholarships I'm awarding.
Gotcha.
2 $500 scholarships of studio recording time, and that'll be to record here in the studio. Then I'm giving 2 $500 cash scholarships to first-year college students or freshmen in high school to go to, to assist with their books or whatever they expenses that they have.
So for the people that will be coming to the studio, what does your studio have to offer?
We have to offer a variety of services. So we're open 24/7 as far as like studio recording time. So if you have a hit song that you wrote and you're like, hey, I want to come to record it, we got you. We also offer a lot of adjunct stuff, such as like show mixes. So like, for example, if you have a show upcoming and you want to, have your songs mixed in style for performance, we do it. I can actually show you a preview of one that we have. Yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. Minimize it.
And so as you're pulling it up, I know you have a background in musical theater, right? Correct?
Yes.
So I know you say music and musical theater go hand in hand, but why specifically focus on music?
Because I've always like growing up, like I've always like sang and wrote. Like I would like hear songs and I'd be like, dang, if I would have, had this beat, I would write it like this. But I never put the 2 and 2 together. So in Miami, where I grew up when I was in middle school and stuff, theater and acting and musical theater is very big there. So I kind of transferred my feelings into that because that was the only option I had at that point. Like I couldn't say, hey, bring me to a recording studio to record. So I just wanted to get it out somewhere, and I didn't realize it at that moment because I was just doing what I love. And so as I grew up, I realized I'm like, I want to be an artist. And I even went from like helping other friends do like artistry, and they're like, as much knowledge as why don't you just do it yourself?
So what type of artist are you?
I don't like to put like a cap on it, but because my I do more of because I have that theater background, I have a little bit of musical theater in there, but I like to tell a story. So that's what type of stuff I have. Like I have a song out right now called I'm a Boss. That's a straight rap. So I'm saying, so I kind of hear a beat and I kind of go with the flow and I write to how I feel at that moment. But if I had to put it in something, it'd be R&B, hip hop, pop. Like between those 3 genres, I kind of like intertwine into it.
So what do you have up here?
So this is a show mix that I'm doing for the Rebirth concert, which we have. So every year we do a concert here, and we do it at a center stage, and it's basically for young independent artists to have an opportunity to perform. So we pick 7 of the best performers in Atlanta, people that have recorded here, the people that are serious about being an artist. We give them an opportunity to put on a show, and we go from there.
Do you take submissions, or how do you go about picking the people?
We kind of look throughout the year and kind of just see who's like popping in the city, inside and out the city and stuff. This year we're about to announce the lineup within the next week or two, but we have like an artist from Trina's label that's gonna be performing. So we kind of scout them out because we're looking for specific things to make sure, you know, we give the people a good show and give the artist a good opportunity.
So before we press play on that,
Yeah.
how do you, because there are so many, we're in Atlanta, so there are so many studios in Atlanta, how are you able to make yours, you know, different from others, or make yours stand out? Like, how are you able to be a success?
Okay, so what we focus on is creating an experience. So with the studio, we allow you to create your own intimate vibe in here. So as far as the lights, change colors to whatever aesthetic you would like to when you come in for a session. We have snacks and stuff available. We always have liquor on staff. So the things that people normally want in the studio, we offer as a compliment.
But it's smoke free, right?
Yeah, smoke free. We don't smoke in here. Yeah, but there for smokers, you are allowed, as you can see, you can smoke outside of the building, so or in the hallway. It's just not in here, just because when we have singers, it kind of conflicts. So so we offer that complete package, as well as like my engineers are trained for customer service, so they're trained to kind of figure out what the needs and wants of the particular artist or a rapper, whoever is coming in here, to make sure that they achieve their goals.
So you have a staff.
Yes.
So who's all including your staff? How many people do you have?
We have a small staff of 5 people, but because we're so small, we're able to kind of like be on the same accord. So whether you have one person or the next, you're going to get that same experience. And we always come together. We do weekly team meetings to make sure that, you know, what can we do better? What, you know, what's going on? Like, the biggest thing that we had is we offer like mixing and mastering services and stuff, and a lot of our clients wanted to be able to do that online. So over the past year, we were looking, you know, we were seeing that trend, like, you know, people want to be able to click online. So we just redid the website to add that in. So it's just like little stuff like that we try to do to make sure yeah, perfect.
Great. So then can you show us what was it again?
This is actually a preview of my performance mix.
Great. So we
what
can
we're
preview.
doing. Yeah.
Great.
Exclusive preview.
Exclusive for Carvd Stone. Who made your logo?
I, in contribution with my graphic designer, his name is Maurice. He's a really good graphic designer based out of Chicago. So he does everything that you see Sound Machine. He has done it.
So how did you get to Atlanta?
It's kind of a full story. Like when I was in college, I went to the University of Florida. So it's like 5 hours away. So there's nothing to really do there after you get tired of partying. So we would come up here for my senior year. I would come up here every weekend and just hang out with some friends who had previously graduated. And so what happened is that I just fell in love with it. And then it was on the rise of when like all of the acting studios started coming here and filming stuff. So I was like, all my friends moved to LA to do acting, and Atlanta, I'm from Miami. I'm like, LA's a little too far, but Atlanta is so cool. I get the same bang for my buck, and it's not as expensive as LA. I'll be closer to my family if everything goes wrong, because I'm kind of like a mama's boy. So yeah, that's why Atlanta. And then I've been here 5 years, and I've been able to achieve so much, like this room. So yeah.
How long has the Sound Machine been around?
We're a year and like 3 months. So open up there. Yeah. Try to get just making slow progress. So like for example, when you hear Beyonce sing, you hear Crazy in Love the single, and then you hear her perform it live.
Yep.
what people really love about her is that her live shows is completely different from what you hear on the song. Like, she changes it up to like have that audience participation and stuff. Because yeah, people like the song, but they like the energy and the choreography in which what you bring. So that's what I think a lot of artists sometimes need and they forget about. They have these beautiful songs, but they don't think of the aesthetic, the music in the background that plays, that adds that extra texture to it. So that's something that we, offer the artists when they're performing with the Rebirth, our concert series, just kind of getting their show mixes and stuff in order, and we offer it as a service too. So if you're in Milwaukee and you're like, hey, I have this show coming up, I have this single, you will send us like your instrumental to your song, and basically we'll add stuff like elements to it and kind of just make it pop. If you're like, hey, I want to sing more on this part, or the cadence on this part is, I'm saying too many words. How can I make it more relatable and audience friendly? So we do that, and we do it at affordable pricing. Like, for example, our studio time is only $50 an hour. We're like one of the cheapest studios in Atlanta, and we, in comparison to everything that we offer.
Why do you aim for that?
Just because I want to provide good service. Like, I'm like, people will come back as long as we're booked out and we've been blessed to be open a year. Because people continually come and support. They come and, book their time, and it's because of everything that we offer. So it's like, if I can make it cheaper for someone to live out their dream, why not? Like, why do I have to charge $100? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've always believed, like, I'm, religious, so I believe God will bless me in other ways. You know what I'm saying? I'll make that.
It's not about the money.
Yeah, it's not about the money for me.
So going back to the performance aspect, a lot of artists, especially coming from Milwaukee, we have a lot of shows, but not everyone performs as well as they could. Yeah. What advice would you give to artists, no matter where they're from, when it comes to performing?
Advice, just keep doing it. You will always have bad shows. I had horrible shows when I first started. Like, stage fright, forgetting words, making up words, and the way you get over that is just, you have to have it. It's kind of like being a comedian, where they say you are not a real comedian until you've gotten booed, because it's like, it teaches you like what works, and it's kind of like an experiment, figuring out what works for the crowd and everything else like that. So whether going out to your open mics and just performing, getting up there doing it, those are great testers to see like, what do you need to work on? Whether it's like, I had this thing where sometimes I'll have rehearsal and I'll have friends come, like, hey, I'll invite 3 of my friends and come and perform in front of them and just kind of get their feedback and just see how it is performing in front of people. Most people think it's like, you need an opportunity to perform. No, there's so many things and so many avenues in which you could get your art out there. It's like, so then that way when a big opportunity comes, when it counts, where it's like, okay, I gotta sing all these notes correct, you're prepared, because you're like, you've done it everywhere else. You've been through a time where like you may have performed and the track stopped, and now you have to do a cappella. So if that happens in a big moment, you're not freezing, because you're like, okay, yeah, this happened to me when I first started. So it's just experience.
So the Sound Machine has been open for over a year, right?
Yeah.
So what was one of your favorite experiences or something that stuck with you since opening up the Sound Machine?
Just seeing the artists grow in general. Like, we have this artist, his name is Saturated, and he's going to be in the showcase this year, and he's grown so much in the year. He's dropped 2 albums. He's getting a lot of label buzz, and he's just moving up. And just to know that some of his songs and the songs that people vibe to were recorded in this studio, and we were able to provide him the tools as far as that's concerned to perform, that is absolutely like just the best feeling ever.
You got you on your watch. You got you on your watch.
Yeah, she won't stop calling. Like, that's my best friend. She lives out in LA.
That's okay, because when my best friend Taj doesn't answer, I'm gonna call again.
Yeah,
and then you text you like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why you're not answering?
Yeah.
So I guess just the last question I have for you is, what do you want people to know about you and the Sound Machine?
What I want people to know about me specifically is that I'm an artist out here, just like everybody else. I'm willing, growing. I make mistakes, but I always stay passionate to what I love, and I encourage people to do the same. So if music is what you want to do, don't let one age ain't nothing but a number. You have people 50 years old doing it. So never stop yourself from doing your dream. And the Sound Machine, what I want people to know about Sound Machine is that we're here, ready to work with artists regardless of your budget, you know, come to us. We're always willing to, like, at the end of the day, if you can't come in here and record, offer you advice so you could get to that point. And we have the scholarship program where you can apply literally online. So there's literally no excuse.
Yes, you can't come here.
Yeah, like, unless you don't like music.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for letting us come all the way down here. 12. Well, took us about 13 hours to get down here. Well worth it. So thank you so much. And in the end, everything will be carved in stone.
I'm in control, yeah. I've been drinking while I'm driving D&D, vibing DM, sliding, drinking hypnotic, chase with gin and tonic. I've been in and out of gripping on the pistol. I'm about Master P in your bitch life, moving like I got 3 strikes. Niggas hate me in real life. I'll sell the mic.